This is the first of two videos about mind mapping and why it's so effective when you compare it to other techniques like linear lists. So I'm going to use a mind map, as you can see, to demonstrate why mind mapping works so well and how to do it. And in the next video I'm showing you how to mind map when writing an essay. Alright, so we always start when mind mapping in the center of the paper. I use A3 or bigger, and the page is, as you see, set out landscape. So your central image there, it's a circle, and in that central image you put the question or the topic under discussion. Here I've got how to think more effectively, mind mapping, and the little guy there holding the weights, that's a symbol that tells me that what I'm going to remind myself is that mind mapping is a powerful tool for shaping thought. I'll explain the use of cartoons in a minute. First of all, to explain how mind map works. So you've got the central image, and then these spokes here are really important because these join the ideas together. You read a mind map clockwise, and it starts here. It always starts at 1 o'clock. So this is why you can't get lost on a mind map if it's well constructed. So let's start then. This mind map, what I want to do first is talk to you about why should I mind map. So this is the main point here, why mind map with the black line. And then the sub points are going to develop that area. The reason why you should mind map is because recent research shows that the brain handles information better if you can harness the power of the right and the left side of the brain. And that's because the right and the left side of the brain works together. The right side is to do with colour and dimension and visual rhythms, patterns, things like that. And the left side, you'll know this, is words, numbers, sequences. Now, by using the two sides of the brain together, you can be a better thinker, you learn more, you learn faster. So this is what psychologists have recognised, that mind maps will, on an MRI scan, will get the two sides of the brain working in a way that linear lists and other techniques such as flowcharts don't. So to our next major point, I go in and here it is, look, down by 5 o'clock, and the central image here is mind mapping versus linear list. So what I'm going to do is compare the two, and the first sub point coming off here is the problems with linear lists. And as you can see, I've got a number of spokes coming off that central image, and these are all the points that I'm going to tell you about. These are the problems to do with linear lists. So the main problem is to do with the ordering of information and how to put that information into a logical sequence. Where's the beginning? Where's the end? How should you find the key points? What's the emphasis? These are all really important when you're trying to structure an essay, but using a linear list, there's mental blocks just because you run out of room on the page. With lists, you have to select the main headings, and you have to put ideas one after the other because of the space limitations. Now what that means is you're attempting to order information before you know what all the information is, and here you can have this confused face. So what is happening is you're not making associations between the ideas because you can't, because you've run out of space, and you can't move things around on the page. This is where mind maps come into their own. When new information turns up, it doesn't present a problem because you can just put it in the place where you think it should be. So the mind map leaves space for ideas to open, thoughts can be added, and because you can do that, your ideas increase and your thinking increases, strong associations are made. And this is all happening at the same time, so your comprehension is also improving. Now I'll just show you what I mean by that when new ideas comes up, it's not a problem. Let's say I wanted to add more about why mind mapping works so well in harnessing the right and the left side of the brain. I could quite easily come up here and add another line, or I could come here and have a major theme that introduces some other theory why mind mapping is so effective, or I could say that all the major areas of business use it. I can add in whatever I like and it's not a problem. It's not going to throw off my order because I have space. Now that can happen all over my map, not only in the big areas that are left that you can see obviously, but round here I could add a point in there. All these places I can add information as I'm going through. If I want, I can go from here then over to here, and this is why mind mapping allows you to add ideas, and it's a creative process that carries on. You're not limited as you are with a linear list to work down logically. Okay, so that's the advantages of mind mapping over using a linear list. Now I'm going to go on to how to mind map. As you can see, this is the major theme, how to mind map, and then again reading the mind map clockwise. I have a series of points that I need to tell you about. So this is where you start with a mind map, as I've said, with the central image, and this represents the topic or the question. You work outwards, adding points which flow and connect to it. So as you saw, I worked outwards. You use images throughout. So the reason you do this is what psychologists have said, is because it stimulates the brain, it attracts the eye, and it aids memory. So a mind map is going to help you whether you have to learn a speech for a wedding or you have to revise for an exam. But to get the right side of the brain harnessed, it really helps if you're using colour and dimension and these little cartoons that I've included here. So three-dimensional shapes, they appeal to the right side of the brain because they also stand out. Using colour for the same reason. Tony Bazan is the guy who developed the idea of mind mapping. So if you wanted to look up more, you should look for him on Google. And he says you should print your main ideas, and he would also emphasize the importance of connecting all these lines together. If you've done mind mapping in the past and you get lost, it's because your lines aren't drawn in the right place. As for you and your OU studies, mind mapping can be used to take notes, to prepare for assignments, and in essay plans. And believe me, it works. Millions of people have tried mind mapping and are convinced by its efficiency, and I would say that I'm one of them. Okay, so go to the next video now.